You're on.
Okay. Good night. My name is FABIOLA Mangravita. I'm going to be presenting, I'm going to be doing my presentation of the last castle of the managerial leadership course. The last castle film was released in 2001 and it was directed by Ron Lurie. The main characters are Robert Redford and James Gandolfini. The film portrays a struggle between the prisoners and the guardian of the military prison, and it basically shows the ability of Erwin as an inspirational and direct successful leader while comparing his leadership style with the commander of the prison Winter. In my presentation, I'm going to be describing Erwin as a leader. First, I'm going to begin by giving you a summary of the movie. It all begins when Eugene Erwin, the general and main character of the movie, he gets sentenced for 10 years because of violating a presidential order in which 8 people died. He gets to prison, and of course it's a weird situation because as a highly recognized soldier, everyone feels like he shouldn't be there, but he has to be there and he failed. So as soon as he gets there, he starts getting some insight of what's going on inside the castle, which is a military prison, and he gets a sense of what the guardian, the Colonel Winter, he violates he abuses his authorities, and he has a horrible treatment with the prisoners. So Erwin portrays himself as a knowledgeable and self-confident moral leader. He encourages the inmates or prisoners and build their self-esteem back. By telling them that the only thing that they can't take away from them is what they used to be, real soldiers. After a period of time when he gets there and all, he starts building this, trust with all the followers, and everyone really starts recognizing him as the leader. And everyone, is kind of looking up at him and saying, hey, so are you going to help us, with this situation? We are treated very unfairly. People die in the movie, and because they should, the colonel's orders are to shoot at people when they misbehave. So what he does is he in a very smart way, he convinces everyone by actually using the Uniform Code of Military Justice as a reference for removing the commander. This is a very good scene of the movie in which they all plan this, and they manage to keep all the prisoners locked in one way by distracting the policeman outside of that place. And then he refers to that Code of Military Justice where he explains that, in the seventh point where the command failures resulting in loss of control of facility. Here he says, because the commander failed to be a good commander, he's submitting himself to cruelty and maltreatment of the person under his command. Then they decide they were going to take control of the facility, and in the end he concludes by encouraging everyone that they will make this plan, make all the strategies to in the end take over the prison and hang the flag of the United States upside down, meaning that the commander has lost control, and so he can get removed. Then Erwin begins planning the strategic moves, assigning tasks and directing the prisoners. When the time begins, they have everything planned. You may even wonder how they did it all, but they use improvised weapons and all that, and everything goes as planned. Then the commander of Winter loses control of himself, and there's a scene where we can see the picture right there. The commander ordered everyone to sit down. No one listened to him, but then the Colonel Erwin did, and then everyone was just laying down on the floor. The commander Winter earring for the flag, and he denied and didn't give it back. So then as soon as he starts walking, as how he was going to go hand the flag, Commander Winter loses control and shoots at him. And then the last scene, the scene when the colonel Irwin hands the flag straight, not upside down. It was actually raised straight, which was, very ironic. He didn't actually go with the message. So then at the end, the Commander Winter is then handcuffed and then he will later be removed. I'm going to go forth and I'm going to be analyzing the General Irwin as a leader. I'm going to go through this different points, traits and behaviors, relationships, autocratic versus democratic leadership, contingency approaches. I'm going to talk about the Fielder's contingency model, tactical theory, personality and leadership, the role of charisma, and then I'm going to talk about the differences between transactional and transformational leadership. Okay, this is so for better understanding. Okay, talking about the traits, behavior, relationship. The research has identified 3 essential traits that successful leaderships should have: self-confidence, honesty and integrity, and drive. Self-confidence, as we know, is when the person is very sure of himself and has assurance in their decisions and making ideas and capabilities. When analyzing self-confidence in Irwin, he showed a high level of self-confidence at all times when speaking, directing, and acting. Honesty, with regards to a successful leader, should always build trust on his followers. They are persons that when they say they're going to do something, they will do so. Irwin was able to gain the prisoner's trust and decided to follow his orders and respect him as a leader. He showed a great level of integrity. At all times, he recognized he made a mistake and that he had to pay. He could have not gone to jail, but he decided he had to be there because he failed to follow an order. Drive, motivation, what motivates everyone to do something, what we feel passionate about. As an experienced and well-recognized soldier, Irwin had the will and self-motivation within his personality. Being in the fields, fighting, all that, he already had it within himself. And what drove him to go forward with his plan had with his internal motivation for the general well-being. He wanted to fight for what was right.
Okay.
I'm going to describe.
Wait, pause. Okay, you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. Go ahead.